So, welcome to today's podcast where I'm joined by Mr. Kris Reid. Kris, thank you very much for joining me all the way from Saigon. I think you are probably the first guy in Saigon that I've had on the podcast, so that's always a bonus.
Well, yeah. we're in the front line of coronavirus here, so it's good to be on a podcast and not out on the streets.
Yeah, no, it's better being safe than sorry. So, Kris, for anyone that's listening or watching, can you tell us just a bit about your background and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, quick recap of me. My name's Kris Reid. I'm from Outdoor SEO, originally from Brisbane, Australia. A software engineer by trade. Worked in finance for about 10 years. Doing soul-destroying work, making billionaires more billions of dollars, which was great fun until the global financial crisis came along and took my job away, which was a bit of a blessing in disguise. I thankfully had saved up a whole bunch of coin, so I traveled the world for 2 years working out what the hell am I going to do with my life. And being a computer geek, I built an online game because I wanted to learn a new type of programming. And as the game started coming to fruition, I thought, well, how the hell do you get people to a website to play the damn thing? And that's when I started to learn about SEO. And back then, man, backlinks were everything. And I read some guide about how to make forum profile backlinks, which are just as they sound like. You go to a forum, you create a profile, and you put a crappy link in there. And my site ranked like nothing else. And I went, this is magic. This is a gold mine. So I quickly ditched the game, built some software to like organize backlinks, and went into business. Started selling these piece of shit links to SEO companies. And man, we used to sell a lot of them. And that was until Google did some updates and that business disappeared. But thankfully we had already started down the track of maybe we should start doing some quality stuff. And so we, really went down the high-end kind of backlink route, and then started providing other services like analysis and content and whatever, and then thought, well, why the hell don't we have our own customers? These guys are making all the bucks on our work. And so that's really where we're focused on the last couple of years, is our own client SEO. So I've been in Asia now for like 8 years or something. We've got an office in the Philippines, office here in Saigon in Vietnam. Plenty of really smart people in the office here, and even smarter people working remotely all over the world. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun.
So what kind of size is your team there? What like overall, including your remote workers, how many guys are working?
Yes, so thankfully to an amazing our team lead, he's actually downsized the size of our company and made us way more effective, way more profitable, and using a lot more contractors too. So we went from nearly 50 staff to now just around 30. So it's a lot less headaches to manage, and like there's a really fabulous book by Mike McCullough. It's called Clockwork. And it's all about like you should stick to what you're good at, your core business processes. And SEO is ours. And so we try and measure out people's time and make sure that they're only doing that and getting really efficient at it, not like screwing around on Skype messages or emails or on meetings or whatever the heck, that they're delivering hours to our customers and how profitable each staff is. And using like that mindset, we've really been able to, reduce our team and be more efficient and more profitable, which is what a healthy business is all about.
Yeah, I think it's all about, working smart rather than potentially trying to manage 50 staff or whatever. I think my highest ever amount of staff was 17. And I found that really, really stressful.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Now I only work with a team of seven actually, 7 people, and I wouldn't have another member of staff. Everything else is then just outsourced or use VAs or a service or whatever, a vendor of some description, which is good. But obviously we could talk about SEO all day and all the tricks and all the kind of silly things you've done, forum links and all that kind of stuff. But that's boring. We've heard all that stuff before. What I think, people do want to hear about, and obviously it's something that you are strong on is your kind of lead generation, how you close deals, and all the kind of sales strategy. Because we all know that SEO is especially, well, every business, cold calling's dead. You can't really get through to the right person. No one comes to the phone with the sheer amount of spam and shitty sales calls. So, and some people are very old school, and this is my opinion. Obviously, us marketers, we're always trying different stuff, but business owners are people that you're generating leads for. Still think things like the old directories work, and they're still doing email post, sending stuff out in the post and hoping that when I get post, it just goes in the bin, to be honest. I've got all my online banking and everything else, so you have to think outside the box. So I'd love to hear more about how you're generating leads first, and then we'll go on to how you're closing those deals.
Yeah, sure. One thing on that, just while I think of it, is there's an old quote by John Wanamaker, back from, this guy lived in 1830s or something, super old, one of the original marketers. And he quoted, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. Only problem is I don't know which half. A really famous quote. And that used to be true. That's why Coca-Cola spends, just gazillions of dollars, and they can't measure how effective it is. But that's not the truth with digital marketing, right? You know how much you're spending on your clicks. You can measure every damn thing on that. And you tell a business owner that, and you show them that, and their eyes light up. A big problem with SEO sales is people are selling SEO. No one gives a shit about SEO. They care about business growth. You sell them that you're giving them more customers. If they know that, everyone understands that they need to have a website. They're just not really sure what that website's meant to do. And if you explain to them, it's like having a business card, right? If it's sitting in your pocket, it's not doing anything. If people can't find your website, then it's not doing anything. Doesn't matter how damn pretty it is, or how fast it loads, or the content, or whatever the hell. But if you put it in front of where the people are actively searching for exactly what you do, what the hell is more powerful than that? And explain that to a business owner, and they'll throw handfuls of money at you.
I think it's obviously getting that point across, though, is the kind of tricky part. And that's, a lot of guys think that, you have to rely on one way of doing it as well. And I think, even SEO guys just stick rigidly to SEO, whereas I'm broadening, the way that I try to, promote myself effectively. And, whether that's podcast, YouTube, Facebook ads, of course SEO still works a treat. But is it the most important thing in the world? Absolutely not. It's more important that I've got a broad range of visibility.
Yeah, there's another great saying, your network is your net worth. And a brilliant book that I just finished reading is called Never Eat Alone, by a guy that used to be the chief marketing officer of Deloitte. So pretty big marketer. And, he just networked with people, and it's so valuable. Even just this morning, I was on a podcast with a guy that's, it's a pretty small podcast that I'd never heard of before. But, the guy is in finance. He has plenty of money, and probably going to be our customer now, which, so that's worth being on the podcast for one. But I had a little look at who he is after I did the show. I should have probably did it beforehand. But, I saw the first three last guests that were on his podcast also had their own podcast. So I said, hey, can you give me an introduction to these guys?
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of Grant Cardone, who's an awesome sales coach. In fact, 2 weeks ago, someone referred me to a guy who, actually knows him. I just mentioned him on a sales call. He goes, oh, Grant, I used to know him before he was big time. I said, dude, can you send me an introduction? He's like, yeah, I haven't spoken for a while, but I'll see what I can do. So, pumping your network and, seeing who knows people is a really great way to get leads. And nothing is better than someone introducing you. Show people you can help them. The podcast guy that I was speaking to this morning, just after the call, I just shared my screen with him, showed him a whole bunch of crap that was wrong with his website, say, hey, fix this and this and this and this. He's like, yeah, that's awesome, man.
I think sometimes you've got to give away to get something back. And I think that's something a lot of people struggle with, though. They'll be like, I'm not giving X, Y, and Z away for free, but just to get yourself that foot in the door is always a nice thing to do, and you just never know what it will result in. So,
yeah, I think Ryan Dice quote. This is a quote from him. It's like, show people you can help them by helping them. You know, like if you can. No one wants to do SEO, right? So like all you need to do is show them this is all the things you need to do. And they go, that's fantastic. You know what you're talking about. Can you do it for me?
Yeah, no, it's I think I can totally relate to what you're saying in terms of being able to help people and, you know, give a bit away for free. And whether that's, you know, a day of my time or 5 hours of my time or 1 hour of my time, very often when I have done it, it has resulted in a hell of a lot more coming, and not always just from a monetary value, but, you know, I've helped a guy once, and then, you know, this guy knew a lot of people who was then able to help me with getting into certain speaking events that I couldn't previously get into. And obviously being at those speaking events and I was able to deliver myself, you know, ended up making me a shit ton of money. So helping that guy for, you know, 5 hours or whatever it may be, I could have charged him, you know, X, Y, or Z amounts of money for consultancy or training or whatever you want to call it. But I didn't, and obviously got 10 times what I would have got, if not more, in return. So yeah, sometimes it pays to do that, but obviously that's not feasible for everyone. Some people maybe have to charge because they're not doing so well. So
well, yeah, I mean, and you have to vet who you're speaking to, right? Like a small business owner that's got no money or someone that's just starting out, you can't really afford to be helping them for free because they're not going to become a customer anyway because they got no money. You know, their business is struggling. So, yeah, like, I mean, that's powerful people get things for free. They're used to it, and so the bigger you are, the more free stuff you get. You know, but it's worth getting their influence. So that's for sure. But I mean, your original question about lead generation. So yeah, becoming an authority, like being on podcasts and speaking on stage is certainly a great way to do it. Not only because it generates your leads, but it builds your authority so people actually trust what you're saying and you can close deals a hell of a lot easier. But an easier way to start out is like LinkedIn, man. It is like such a killer tool. It allows you to connect to anyone. Like one of our bigger customers who is a 5-star hotel chain that has 5 locations in Australia, a couple in Hong Kong and a couple somewhere else. Like they're massive. And one of our guys connected with not even the hotel's manager, but like the next company that owns this company, like their big boss, and sent him a message. And he's like, hey, our hotel needs some stuff. Talk to them. You know, it's like you can connect to like really big, powerful people on LinkedIn, man. And you just send them nice messages, not like spammy crap like, hey, come and buy, want to SEO your site for $1? You know?
Yeah. But do you feel that, going for these kind of high profile, big, top bosses, the top brass in the company, if you like, do you feel that works a lot, or was that just a lucky scenario, or do you feel like going down?
100% that was a fluke. But we're throwing out a lot of hooks. So, you're going to catch some fish, and like there's a lot of automation tools that are pretty cool for LinkedIn. Like Linked Helper is a great one. Yeah, it's really effective. And I mean, we always need really sharp SEOs to come join our team. Heck, one of our partner agencies just brought on one of the biggest companies in the freaking world. I'm not allowed to say their name because I'm under NDA, but they're quoted for 400 hours a month, and these guys charge $350 an hour. Like you do the math, that is a freaking big customer. And so we're like scrambling at the moment because there's no way they can service it, and we don't have an extra 400 hours lying around. So like we're all scrambling to like get enough people to do the job. So if anyone's listening, look, if it works, send us a message. But my LinkedIn helper is just constantly connecting with SEOs and sending them messages, and then our HR goes and follows up and gets them to submit their CV, and then we can filter through.
So what sort of messages are you sending to these SEO guys? Obviously it's all on autopilot. I'm assuming it's kind of fairly generic, but there must be something in there to trigger a response. So, kind of what, I know you don't want to give exactly all your trick to me, but
no, not at all. So a really good message that we use that's really effective is like, because with linked helper, right, you can put in variables. So one is hi, whatever name, how's whatever in Philadelphia, how's the football, or how's whatever, something about the city, because you target just people in Philadelphia, so you have the Philadelphia list, and so you can add in something about Philadelphia, and then it's like, hey, I'm going to be in town later this year. It'd be great to grab a coffee, and that's a nice casual message that people like respond to, and it's nice to ask a question so that you can send a follow up, but a lot of people just reply to that anyway, and then you've only targeted like marketing managers or CEOs or owners or whatever the hell, so everyone's worth speaking to. Then they reply, you start a casual message. It's way better if you can do it in real time. So if you're in Asia's a beautiful place to live, but it sucks working with the US. It's opposite time zone. So it makes it really hard to get a chat going, because you want to be live. And then you can just casually start talking about their business. Oh, how's things with XYZ business? Oh, is this your website? That's even just a fine follow-up afterwards. Like after you've said something about a coffee. Oh, is this your website? It takes 2 seconds, and you can send this to 100 people in a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. Just find their profile. Is this your website? Do that to everyone. All the people that reply, then you can go, there's something wrong with every freaking website. Just take a screenshot and go, this is broken or that's broken. Would you like me to send you a little video? And, then they opt in, right? And you want to get like a double opt in. You go, cool, what's your email? You can go and get it from their LinkedIn profile, or you could send it to them on LinkedIn. But if they double opt in and give you an email address, now it's like a much better lead. And there you go. You can easily generate 10 leads a day from that. And you remember Daryl Ross's talk about how to he's got a great little talk on how to generate $100,000 a year or something, but it's like generate 10 leads a day, close one customer, and away you go.
Yeah. So, generating the leads is one thing. Obviously, what is really important, I think, using LinkedIn or any other kind of paid strategy or SEO strategy is something that people can, essentially get to if they use the right people or doing that. But it's one thing generating the lead; it's closing the deal is the vital part, and closing deals and especially clients who you don't know and you don't know what budget they've got and stuff like that can be hard, because how much do you quote? Because with SEO, someone could spend $1,000, but if they spent $2,000, they'd get a hell of a lot more for their money, more links, more content, more everything. And it's very hard to sit there and, I see a lot of guys packaging up SEO saying they've got, a bronze, silver, and gold package, $250, $500, and $999, which is very, very hard to do. But, I think, people are trying all sorts of different weird ways of trying to close deals, including packaging up, which I think is bullshit. But
I think it's total bullshit. Yeah, it's terrible.
So what things are you doing to close deals? How do you also, how do you not just close the deal, but how do you pitch that to the client? How do you, I know you've got to dip your toe in the water and try and figure out what type of budget a client's got. That's what I've always done. Say to them openly, like, if you spend $1,000, we can do this. If you spend $2,000, you can get this. If you spend $5,000.
So just this afternoon, a guy sent me a message and he said, how much is it going to be for the first month, and then how much will it cost me for 5 months after? I said, dude, well, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to achieve? And where are you now? Like, why build a Ferrari if a dump truck is going to do the job? And both of those cost significantly different amounts. Like, it's understanding your market first, and what you want to achieve is what we need to do. And so that's where, our sales process is get to the right person, usually get them to pay to like either have a video or have them pay to have a call with us. And when you get people that pay to have a chat with you, that's a hell of a good lead. And then you talk about their business, build a relationship. Oh, how'd you get into business? People love talking about their business. Oh, that's so interesting. What's your biggest problem? Oh, generating leads and generating customers. Because, it's funny because that's why most businesses go out of business. Isn't that terrible? And you want to find that pain point and poke it a lot. The bleeding neck as they talk it, you find where they're sore and you stamp on it. Then, because it is scary, right? If you don't get enough customers, you can be as passionate as you want and the best plumber, doctor, lawyer, whatever the hell. And if you don't get enough customers, then you're gone. And so then you talk about, okay, what's your biggest problems in getting customers? How's your website converting customers? Oh, it's not, right? Oh, how long you had your website? How much did you spend on your website? One of our newest customers had spent $20,000 building a website and some shitty marketing that did nothing. And he's an accountant in a little village. And it's your village is it's so easy to rank for. It's crazy. How whoever was the salesman there, amazing guy, should talk to him. But then we have a call, work out what they want to do, because this accountant, he can't handle unlimited leads, right? He needs X amount of leads, but then if you get extra leads and you have to hire another accountant, well, now you need to make sure those leads are coming in, or otherwise you got to let an accountant go, which you can't do because of hiring and labor laws and stuff like that. So it's business is scary, and remind them that, and remind them how nice it'd be to have a predictable revenue stream. And people are like, my God, that would be nice if you could go to bed tonight and know that you're going to have the phone ring 10 times tomorrow. How nice would that feel?
Exactly.
Paint the future for them. And then they're like, oh my word. So how do we get from here to there? And then that's where we walk them through our process.
So you walk them through what you're doing and all that kind of stuff.
So we have a really nice presentation, which you should write everything down and show people what you get, because people believe what they see. Something written down, if you just say it's $1,000 off the top of your head, well, it looks like you just made it up off the top of your head. If they see it written down, that's way more credible. But it's a slick presentation, and we explain every bit. And what we do is essentially keyword research, find out what their market is and what their customers are searching for, and audit their website to see what's wrong with it and why it's not ranking to start with, and then build them a strategy. And the strategy is designed to get them from where they are to where they want to be. Mm-hmm. And over a 12-month period, so that they can ramp up. And the more precise that they can give us their goals to start with, then the more precise we can go for that strategy, because we know, okay, this is a kind of estimated conversion rate. This is how much traffic we need. These are the sort of keywords to go after, and you can be pretty precise about it. And our strategy really, focuses not on search engine ranking, because who gives a shit? It focuses on how many customers you're going to get. So we can show that, okay, this page costs you $500 to build, but it gives you $250 a month. So month 3, you're doing great, And if you can show that, then why wouldn't you want to keep investing? What other investment's going to give you that sort of return?
Yeah. It's interesting way of pitching it. I was just curious to know, how much of the strategy do you really give away, though? Do you hand that to them on a plate and tell them, or do you show them it and then take it away again? Because what's to stop someone coming to you, paying your fee for a call? You build, you do all the research, do all the strategy stuff, and then they say, "Fuck you, I'm going to do it in-house." How much do you give away without giving too much away, if you like?
So they pay us for a call. Then we walk them through our presentation and show them someone else's strategy, not theirs. So generally we've done enough of these that we have someone that's similar. And so we'll go, if you're a podcast host, here's one that we've done recently for another podcast host. And we show them this is exactly what we do. And then they go, oh my God, that's amazing. Can you do that for me? I go, sure can. Give me some money.
Yeah.
And they pay for it. And then, it is up to them. Like, it's, we made money on delivering the strategy. We hope that they find so much value in it that they want to work with us. But a good reason that we even do it like this too is because not only do we outline this is all the work that needs to be done, but who's going to do what bits? Sometimes we're working with software companies. They have the technical skills to fix their website, so they want to do it. Sometimes we work with authors. They write content for a living. They want to write their content. And so we go, this is all the stuff that needs to be done. This is how many hours we estimate that each thing will take. What bits do you want to do? Which bits do we want to do? Then we really just negotiate for an hourly budget, a monthly budget, and then set out the work for each month.
Interesting. Now, obviously, what you're doing is obviously it works, and that's great. And obviously, for you as a kind of business owner and stuff, there's only so much of all of that shit you can do. So, what is your process like in terms of a lead coming in? Do you have guys that nurture that lead, talk to them, or is it email automation? And then, how do they eventually get to you when you've sat them down and pitched them? What's the process like?
Yeah, so I love lead generation sales. It's my favorite part. So basically, I'm the best at it. So I stick at that. Really, once they become a full service customer, once we sell them the strategy, that's the last they ever hear from me. Like, they get passed over the SEO team and they deal with the rest. We did previously have a sales team, and quite funnily, they all kind of got together and thought that they could do this whole thing without me or without us. And my missus, she made the joke. She's like, the SEO team is smart enough to know that you bring in the cash, and the sales team weren't smart enough to see all the hard work that goes behind it. Like, actually implementing SEO is tough shit, but getting customers is tough too. And so it was kind of unfortunate that three of them kind of ran away, to start their own thing, but I can see that they've already fallen on their ass. So anyway.
No, that's painful. It's obviously frustrating when you do that and you educate or train them to sell and do your kind of process, and then they get jealous and maybe think, I should be making more money, or I could do whatever. I've had that a few times with a few different
When they started trying to pinch customers, that's when I got really mad. Like, Jesus, guys, I gave you such valuable information, showing you our processes and stuff that we learned the hard way over years and years and years. Yeah, it was really upsetting.
Out of curiosity, going forward, are you just going to do all the sales yourself, or are you ever going to trust someone to come in again? How do you resolve that? I have been thinking about that. And the better the lead, the less skillful the salesman needs to be. I'm a really good salesman, so I can handle crappy leads and generate sales where other people can't. And so I really want to get our lead gen to such high quality. Like, I've got a book that's it's done, but I'm not happy with it. So I kind of want to get it redone, because it focuses too much on SEO rather than on the benefits of SEO. Like, it's all focused on features rather than benefits. And once we have a book that's pumping out amazing leads, I'd kind of like to even get to being webinars where our whole paid strategy part it's just recorded and you pay there. You can either pay a lot of money to speak to me directly, or you can just buy it from a webinar. That's how I'd like to do sales rather than work with some knuckleheads. I think it's something we all have to consider when you're running your own business, is you're going to come across people that are untrustworthy, and maybe think they can do it on their own. And it's obviously crap that they go away and potentially could take your clients and stuff like that. And I know people get NDAs signed, but they're really not worth the paper they're written on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's it sucks, and it's something I've suffered from similar in the past, and I never ever quite got the resolution. I was just proper pissed, and it's more not pissed because someone thought they could do better or anything like that. Just pissed that people are quite happy to stab you in the back more than anything.
Exactly. It's like be forthcoming. It's like it's if you want to go and do your own thing, fine, but like don't bullshit me about it. Like that was really what hurt, and to see that when I learned that they'd been conniving behind my back for like a couple of months, like it's like you go out and have beers with them, and it's like, really, you were lying to me the whole time. Like, how's your integrity?
Yeah.
But that also shows hiring, right? Like, I mean, around the same time as they departed, I found my new assistant, who's amazing. She's an American girl that was living in Cambodia, and I asked her to move to Saigon. And she does so good. She like really gels with me. Really gets my ideas out of my head and then helps implement them, so I don't have to like work with the team to get them implemented. She handles that bit. She handles a lot of calls before me, vets that people are like worth me talking to, which saves a heck of a lot of my time. So like getting great team members is worth it, but yeah, it's super hard to do.
I think it's super hard to do. I wouldn't let it, for anyone listening, don't think that you can't get good, solid, reliable people out there. I think what you have to do is, dig deep and kiss a few frogs before you get to the right people. And yeah, I think obviously part of business and being able to scale your business, you have to let go and you do have to trust other people, because you'll die if you were to, be that control freak guy that has to do everything or be involved in everything. So it's just an unfortunate part of business. But back to more positive stuff, in terms of what you're doing and where you're going. So what does the future look like for your current setup? Are you is it only SEO services you guys provide, or do you provide other stuff? Is there training? Is there Facebook stuff and paid stuff? What else are you doing?
Yeah, so I mean, we do a bit of paid ads for our customers, but I think SEO is just such a better investment that's where I really push them to focus on. Funny that you mentioned training. So we have a monthly call with the whole team because there's people all over the place, and our strategist, he put together a bit of training for our content team, really, to show them how we do keyword research and give them a better idea about how SEO works. And we thought, that's a freaking amazing. Let's like have a basic SEO course, not like anything advanced, because business owners don't really care about like the how-tos. They just need to understand enough. And that's what we really want to focus on. Is maybe it'll be a paid course, but to start with, it's going to be free. Just do live training on Facebook to use it as lead generation. Show people that you can help them by helping them, and into the funnel they come.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely. I've done a lot of training courses over the years, and it can be used in a number of ways. Whether it's another source of income if you're charging for it, give it away as a freebie to get your foot in the door with people, or lead gen, or whatever you want to call it. The only downside to that is people steal your videos and stuff like that as well, which is another pain in the ass. But hey, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah.
But so going forward, it's pretty much just do rinse and repeat, continue.
Yeah, more of the same. I mean, just on hiring one more time, like just been reading the book How Google Works by Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google, and like half that book is about Google's hiring process. Like that's how much that they like focus on hiring. And when the book was written, they had 45,000 staff. Now they have like 120,000 or something. Like, Eric did amazing work with Google. He made them what they are today. And so that's really processes that we're working on. We have a HR now, which is great. She gets in a lot more CVs and vets them. Hire people that are smarter than you. It's really hard to do, but like, our team lead, he works way harder than me, and just does stuff that I couldn't do. That you also need to like hire people that work with you. Like my assistant, she has such a nice way of of being able to nudge me to actually do stuff. Like, I'm really crappy at project management and don't use our tools. I just send people annoying emails all the time and then complain why everyone's using so many emails all the time and not using the project management tools. And she's like nurturing me into using project management correctly, So like, if you hire good people, they like can influence you from the bottom up.
We've all got weaknesses and points that we're crap at and stuff like that. So yeah, surround yourself with the people that fill in the kind of weaknesses that you've got, and I don't think you go far wrong. But before we go, if someone was looking to start out in SEO or start an agency, given your years of experience and stuff like that, I know you refer a lot to books. What are the kind of top books you've read that would maybe help someone, not just build an agency, but what books have you found a lot of value in, and also what advice would you give to someone? What mistakes can they avoid that you have made along the way?
Yeah, so if you want to be an actual SEO, which I don't do it, other people do, I'd recommend going to work for an agency. One of my really good friends who worked with us for a while, he went and worked for one of the biggest agencies in Australia that has like the big telcos and the big banks for customers, and charged gazillions of dollars. And he said he worked with them for like 2 years or something, and the knowledge that he gained and just the quality of his work improved just so much. So like, I'd go and move to a big city and work for a big agency. That'd help a lot. But yeah, like really working out what the hell it is you want to do, and then become really good at that. Like our HR even said to me the other day, like, oh man, how do you get so good at communication? I'm like, all my books are about communication and sales and marketing. That's all I read all the time. Grant Cardone, I've listened to 4 books of his this year. I have him blaring in my ear every morning, and you listen to him before you're on a sales call, and you're going to smash that sales call, and because you remember it, you got to be indoctrinated in it. You got to just live and breathe it. One thing that he talks about is like, experience is really expensive. So if you go into if you're like learning sales through having sales calls, that's crap, because you're losing so many deals. You should be pumping out like training, do so much training until you can just do it, without thinking. Like, I don't need to prep before a sales call. I do it like that. I know it so well and so easy. Like, I don't even need to know who the person is or what their website is. I can just sit down 30 seconds before the call, jump on, and it just flows beautifully because I train and have done it so many freaking times. And so like, working out what you really like doing and then do that a lot.
Oh, interesting. So if anyone does want to, potentially reach out to you, I know you said you're looking for SEOs, or, maybe someone wants to talk to you and get some ideas from you, or whatever it may be, where's the best place to get a hold of you?
So you can Google the coolest guy in SEO and you'll see my pretty face. So that's a nice and easy one to remember. Or you can go to ardorseo.com, and yeah, there's all our contact details right there.
The links will be below when the podcast goes live. But sadly, we are out of time, Kris. But I do want to thank you very much for coming on and sharing your insights, tips, and everything else that you have done. And hopefully we come across each other in real life at some point as well. I hope to come out that way sometime and see what happens. Check out
probably at Chiang Mai SEO, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll be at Chiang Mai this year. But have we actually met before? Were you at the one?
We met at the previous year. Yeah.
Probably really drunk.
Well, that's what everyone is at Chiang Mai SEO for sure.
Yeah. Like, Craig, we met at Chiang Mai SEO, and I'm like, really? But yeah, it's all right.
Happens to me all the time too.
Zoe's and stuff. Yeah, I don't remember much about Chiang Mai SEO. Great experience, but yeah, I'll hopefully catch you out there this year then, providing this coronavirus clears up.
There's a huge SEO community building in Saigon in Vietnam too. So anyone wants to come over here, like swing by the office and grab a beer.
For sure. Thank you very much, Kris. It's been a pleasure.